Hello friends, welcome back to Programming Fields. I'm Umesh Rana and today I came up with the second video in Laravel Ajax CRUD series. In the last video, we did a Laravel project setup. Thereafter, we designed a basic form for creating to-do list. And for creating this to-do list form, we used this bootstrap model. Also, we implemented client-side validation using jQuery validate. So if I will try to submit this form, this will trigger this required field validation. Then we did Ajax setup as well for submitting form data asynchronously. And lastly, we captured the Ajax response to the view. So let me show you the demo for this application, what we have created it. So if I will try to create a new to-do list, if I will try to submit, then yes, we captured the success response and the to-do list is stored in the database. Alright, and after that this model is closed automatically. If we will check out to the database, then here we got this entry in the database. That's it. Now in the today's video, we will display those created to-dos list in this index view. Okay, and thereafter we will apply jQuery DataTable here at the client side to display data in the paginate form. So let's get started. So I already created views as I will show you here. So inside this resources folder, we have this views and here I have created index blade and from here I'm triggering this model. So after this section, I will create one table. So I will wrap that in table responsive class and thereafter I will create one table and here I will create t-head. Inside this t head, I will create th just like to do id and I will duplicate these columns as title, description, and we have one flag as completed. Okay, and at last we will have action button. Okay, and after this t head, I will create one t body. Inside this t body, I will create tr and td. Okay, so before displaying any data in this table view, let's fetch data first from this controller. So inside this to-do controller, we have this index function and we return todos.index view. So here we will fetch to-do all. So I will be using this all function provided by Laravel Eloquent and I will capture this to-dos in one variable as to-dos and thereafter inside this view I will pass in the form of compact. Okay, so I will write compact to-dos. That's it. So we fetched all these to-dos from to-do model that is associated with to-dos table and thereafter I have passed those to-do to the view. So now let's come to this index view again and here just before this tr I will write for else loop. Okay, and I will move this tr and td just inside this for else and here I will write to-dos as $to-do and inside this td I will write to-do id and I will just copy these and I will change this column name as title, description, and here we have each completed flag. Okay, so in the table we are storing is completed value in the form of boolean, that means true and false, so it will be stored 0 and 1. Okay, while displaying I want this value in the form of yes or no. So here I will write one condition, if to do is completed then I will display yes, else I will display no. This is fine. And at last we required few buttons. So here inside this action td I will create hyperlink just to display to do, view, edit and delete. Okay, just like this. And I will add JavaScript void as of now. And regarding these actions, I will come to this later. And if we don't have any to do, then I will create one empty tr and inside this tr I will create one td with call span. We have 1 2 3 4 and 5. All right, so I will provide call span as 5 and inside this td I will create p class as text danger no to dos found. Okay, this is done. Now let's come to the browser and refresh this page. And yes, we have the to-dos list displayed in this form of table. Here we can give some space from this top. So let's give some padding from top as pt4. This is okay. And here we can add btn class so that these links will be converted to the button form. So let's come to the code and here we will add bootstrap classes, class btn, btn info, btn B10 success, B10 danger. This is fine. If I will refresh now, then yes. And also we can pass BTN SM class in order to change the size of button. Yes, now refresh it. Yes, this looks nice now. Okay, so we displayed the created to-dos in this table form. Now we have to implement data table to this table. Okay, so for that we will navigate to documentation as jQuery data table CDN. All right, and from here we will select this bootstrap 5, and from here we will copy CSS and JS. Okay, so let's add these CDNs one by one. So let's copy it, switch back to view, and here we will add these CDNs in master view. So we already created app.blade.php. So after this meta, we can add link href equals that CDN link. Let me toggle this one. So this is a style sheet. So we will be adding this style sheet. Okay. Now let's come to this documentation again and copy this data table JS. Okay. And now scroll down. So here just before this custom script, we will be adding that the script as a script src equals, and we will paste this link, and we will add type as text/javascript. Okay, and we will close this script. And same thing for this data table bootstrap JS. So let's copy it and let's add it again. So script src equals this link, we can add type text/javascript, and we will close this script. Now in the next step, we have to provide ID to this table layout. So we will provide ID as to do table. Okay, and now we have to apply data table to this ID attribute. Okay, now in the next step, we have to initialize the data table object so that we can apply data table to this particular table ID. Okay, so let's copy this ID and let's switch back to script.js. So inside this document.ready function, just it is closing here. So inside this we can write hash that table ID dot data table. So here we have initialized the data table to this table ID. Okay, so let's save it and now switch back to browser. Now let's refresh it, and yes, this data table is applied to this table. All right, now we can use search functionality, pagination. Okay, and we have this number of displayed records. Okay, now in the next step we have to implement another functionality so that when we will create a new to do, that created to do list should append in this table. Okay, because as of now we have displayed this to do list directly from this view. So whenever we will navigate to this route, it will automatically fetch all the created to dos to this table. But what if we will create a new to do from this create to do model, and after saving that to do, we have to append the created to do after these to dos list. Okay, so let's implement this functionality. So let's switch back to code. So in the very first step, we have to return created to do list from this controller. So inside this store function, we already implemented this to do create functionality, and we returned this JSON response after creating this to do. Okay, so as of now we returned only status and message. So here after this message we will be returning this created to do list. Okay, so whenever this to do list is created, that to do list will be returned in this JSON response. Okay, so now let's come to the browser, and here let's reload it and open this inspect and this network tab, and let's try to create new to do. So let's write Laravel form validation in Laravel 10. Okay, now if we will click on save, and if we will check out this, and here we got this network response with message, status and created to do list. So now we have to append this created to do to this table. Okay, so for that let's come to this script.js, and here after this success response we displayed this alert response. Okay, so just below this response we will append the created to do to this table ID. Okay, so we have this table ID as to do table. Let's copy it, and here just after this response let's add this, and we will use append function just like this. Okay, and inside this append function we have to write tr and td. Okay, so we will be using this backtick and then tr, there will be tr closing and inside this td, and we have to create these 5 tds just as shown this. So inside this tr we have to append the same number of tds that we have already created to display to this table. Okay, so for that let's come to this index blade and we can simply copy these all td from here, and let's come to this script.js and paste this here. And instead of this curly bracket we will change this to dollar response dot to do dot id. Okay, just like this, because we are getting response in the form of object and we have this to do object that is coming inside this response. Same thing for title and description, so we will write response dot to do dot title. So let's change this to response dot to do dot description. Response dot to do dot is completed, then we will display yes, else it will display no. Okay, now let's come to the browser, refresh this application. Okay, now let's try to create another to do. Let me close this one. Okay, so let me create another to do list. Laravel file upload with validation. Okay, let me copy the same description, and if we will click on save, yes, so as soon as the to-do list is saved to the database, that created to-do list is appended to this table. Okay, if we will refresh it, yeah, then this is same. Okay, so this is done. So that's it for this video. I hope this video will be helpful to you. In the next video, we will implement the functionality for these actions: view, edit and delete. Thank you for joining us today. See you in the next video.